So I'm going to sit a little bit and I'll be up a little bit. But the name of the conference, the Prophetic Wells, comes from Outpouring Wells. And God has been naming this thing and doing this thing and putting this thing together. And I'm going to go back to a vision I had in 2009. I was in Cathedral Praise. That's where I've been. When I was pastoring, I used to take my church members over there for special occasions. And when my daughter died, August 2008, I just closed my doors on my church and stayed at COP. And in 2009, I released a 2-part vision that Pastor Bohart let me release, and I'll share it with you, and it kind of explains where God is going in Austin and why a lot of us have been moved here, why we're here. We're part of what God's about to do and open up here. And there's so many pastors and ministries coming into town. God is filling this place up. 10 years ago, you could not find a meeting of a place to go. Now there are multiple meetings every single weekend. You have to choose where you're going to go. So 2009, I was standing in the meeting, and all of a sudden I'm standing in the desert, and I'm seeing mountains in the background. And my legs are spread, and the ground starts cracking open. And I'm seeing water way down in there. And the Lord says, which side will you be on? I'm separating the goats and the sheep now. Are you hot? Are you cold? Okay. And I see the water is starting to rise up, and it's being released from under the ground. And the Lord says, as in the time before Noah, there was no rain. Now I see the wells are still rising up from down deep. And the Lord says, my rain, holy rain, is pouring from heaven. The two are meeting. I see the water is still rising. And I see a canal that's pouring from heaven, and it's coming down. Like the back of a cement truck. It's got, like this is channel, and there's water coming down into the canal. And I look up, and there's 3 angels with buckets. And there's a well in heaven, and they're filling up the buckets, and they're pouring it in that canal, and they're filling down to the wells below. About 6 months later, I came across a book. It's called Digging the Wells of Revival by Lou Engle. And I hit a page in there, and when I got to this page, I went running to my pastor. I said, look at this. And I'll read it to you, because when I got to this page, I got it highlighted, I got it bookmarked, everything. Because in this paragraph I'm going to read you is the exact same words that the Lord said to me, that he's given to Lou Engle over other cities. So God is targeting cities, and Austin is one of those cities. It says, in the last days, because I said my word, that I will pour out my spirit of Elijah in the last days, I will reopen every well of revival dug by the forefathers and foremothers of faith. And I will restore the hearts of the fathers to their children, and the hearts of the children to their fathers, as